Today we're going to continue assembly of the starboard in a Merlin engine. Take the two sides of the cylinder block, 20A and 20B. You can see that which way they go round, that the overhang on both sides go together. And you can see there's three holes at the top, and the exhaust ports are on the top on the other side. So we will then glue those together. So I'm just going to put a spot of glue on the pins. Next we take the cylinder portal 20C. It's got three pins along there, and the pin closest to the edge goes to on this side of the cylinder. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the pins. And then the pins will go into the holes on the same side of where the exhaust ports will go. Next we take the ignition harness 20D. This will go below the the last part that we put in, 20C. So there's three pins there and there's three holes. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the pins, and then we'll put them in the holes below. There we are, they clicked in. As before, they don't fit all the way down flush. So you can see that. Next, we'll take the 6 HT leads. There, if you notice, there are 6 holes in the part which is the ignition harness 20D, and in the cylinder just above the 6 exhaust ports there is another 6 holes there. So if we take the little harness, then the longest, if you notice, there is a long side and a short side. The long side will go into the cylinder. Just make sure when you do this you actually put it in sequence, that you don't miss any holes. So the last two then will go, one will go from there to there and there to there. I'm not going to put the exhausts in, the exhaust ports, because we have the same issue that we had in issue 19, is that I've got 4 of one type and 2 of another, so I'm not going to put them in yet until that issue is sorted out. Next, fit cover 20G, that goes on to the top of the cylinder block. the cylinder, the cover has two pins. One pin is larger than the other, and there's one large hole and one small hole, and that will fit on top of there. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the pins. Then fit the cover on top of the cylinder block. Next, take the manifold body, and which is 20J. There is supposed to be a pin on the end of that according to the diagram. If I show you that, it shows a pin being there, but there is no pin on mine, so I don't know if it's been broken off but there's nothing in the box or anything like that, or in the plastic bag. So it's either been broken off before it's been packed, or it's been omitted. I don't know. So but I don't think it makes any, to be honest, really much difference. We'll find out as we go further down the build. So we take the manifold body 20J and we just assume that there's a pin on that side. We then take the inlet manifold 20H. If you notice the orientation, the rounded part there goes to the right, and there is three square pins along here, and they go into these square holes, so that will glue into that. So you can see what it's going to do is we're going to have another one there, and they're going to hold the two cylinders together. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the square pegs, and then we'll put them into the square holes. They're quite to get it square is a bit of a pain. So what I think I'm going to do is that I know this one is going to go into the cylinder that we just made. So I'm going to glue, there's three pins there, and there's three holes in the cylinder. So I'm going to glue it square into the cylinder first, and I'll do the same for the other one, and then I think it'll be easier to actually fit them together then. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on them. Fit into the cylinder, so it's the opposite side of where the exhaust ports are. And it's basically where if you notice, there's ridges there, and they face downwards. So it's easier to get this in square. And I'll recover the engine block that we did last week. Okay, just glue it in square. So we got the two engine blocks. The manifold there, they should be identical on both. They should be opposites, so when they're together like that, they look the same. So you know you've got it right. Obviously with this one, I haven't got the exhaust ports on. I'm going to put them on a later date once I've sorted out the issues with them. Next, we're going to take the inlet manifold. And I put a bit of glue on that. And then I'm going to glue it to the engine that we did, or the engine block we did last week. And we do the same for the other side. So I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive on the square holes. Grab the other engine block. Okay. We take the engine block. If you take note of the orientation of it, so basically there's a step down and that goes to the rear. There are some square holes which are offset, and on the bottom of the cylinder head there are 4 lugs, square lugs, which are offset as well, so it only fits one way round. So I'm just going to dry fit it. Or the other way you can look at it is the bit with a pin that sticks to the rear, and it would go like that. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the engine block where the holes are. Then we take the cylinder head, looking at the orientation. There we are. Okay, so that is complete. Obviously I haven't got the exhaust pipes on, as I said, so I'm waiting for that issue to be sorted. And that is the end of this issue.